Live from legendary Franklin Field here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's the New Balance Outdoor Nationals, day number 3, and beautiful weather on deck. I'm Trevor Fulkerson, joined by Keenan Gray here for this morning session. You're watching live on Runner Space, as you have been all weekend long, and we will kick things off here on day number 3 with this boys championship mile race walk. We'll have the girls after that, but Keenan, it has already been an incredible couple days of action.
Really has, and just what kind of transpired last night in that boys 4x8, a record that thought a lot of people thought was untouchable, unreachable. The Harriman boys proof that otherwise, and ran an incredible 7 minutes 26 seconds, and we'll go over that a little bit. But as you said, it's been, other than maybe the little bit of a weather delay we had on Thursday, it's been picture perfect. Clear skies here over the next 2 days. Should be a great day, and tomorrow as well.
You see the weather graphic there. Those weather woes seem to be behind us, and just what a beautiful view we have this morning as we continue to ramp up the action. Well, you mentioned it. We've had a national record. We've had, I think I've lost count. I don't know if we can check the number, but 10, 12, 15 meet records. I mean, it just keeps getting faster and faster. Incredible marks all around. We've had some great competition. One of my highlights yesterday, Keenan, was that girls' 400 hurdle race.
Without a doubt. I mean, you throw, two of the best in the country at it against each other, and you're going to have, one of the best races you'll see all season long in the 400 hurdles. And, of course, Natalie Dumas, just a star in the making. Know what she's capable of at the New Jersey state level, but to see it on a national stage is special, too. So, 55.99. 7th girl in high school history to break 56 seconds in the 400 hurdles is something to not take lightly.
And being pushed the whole way by Sydney Sutton as well. So incredible competition, and it continues here this morning with this championship race walk. And we'll get our competitors introduced here shortly. This will be the full mile, and sometimes, just as we do on the running side of things, we'll have 1,600-meter marks, we'll have full mile marks, so we'll do our best to give all the credit where it is due. But here's the young men that will be contesting this event. Starting off with Ryan Hanlon out of Lisbon. We'll have Ian Pullen out of Gardner, Maine, representing his state. Ethan Hahn, he's gone 8:01 for the full mile out of Potomac, Maryland. And Ross Gaffney walking himself out there, another Maine competitor. He's gone 7:42 for the 1,600. Braden Taylor, another Maryland product here. State so well represented here in the Northeast. Oliver Sikora, 7:34, third fastest in the nation thus far this year over 1,600 meters. Cameron Kuhn, he's got the fastest full mile thus far this season in the nation, 7:25.21. So we'll talk more about those times, but he leads the nation in the full mile. Hanson Chu out of BC. We've got Nolan Moore, another Maine product here. He's gone 7:42 this year, just a freshman. Bryce Upton, well, he leads the nation in the 1,600. Representing Noble there, as you can see, 7:18.71. He's gone in the 1,600-meter distance. Ian Britt out of Topsham. He's second in the 1,600. 7:27, his best thus far this year. So a number of athletes contesting this full mile here today. And as we said, Keenan, some of them have done the 1,600, some have done the full mile. We talked about it in a few other events. This certainly is one that you really have to know what events are going to contest this event, and they get the chance today to do the full mile distance.
It's one of that. I mean, as simple as it sounds, race walking, it's actually to me challenging in the sense of like you have to there's certain little critique things that the officials look at, whether it's keeping your 1 foot on the ground and 1 foot in the air, or what exactly the rule is. I mean, I'm not an expert in race walking by any means, but having watched it, having tried it myself just to see what it was like, it's not easy. It's difficult.
Well, they will do their full 1,609 meters here, and we are off and walking. But one thing I compare it to, Keenan, for those who are maybe still getting to know the event and can see it's happening here in the morning, so not always front and center, but certainly I relate it to swimming, because there's certainly, obviously we have different strokes and the butterfly or the breaststroke, whatever the case may be, and there are rules within that event. So you have to follow those rules just like you do in other track events, of course. But as you said, the challenge is staying within those limits. Now, there are officials here, and as you said, there's some very specific rules. So no flight phase allowed, 1 foot on the ground, and keeping that knee straight while it passes. So we've got Britt out to our early lead here. This is Ian Britt. As we said, he's gone 7:27 for the 1,600 meters, and I think that's one thing people need to understand. Now, it's just the mile here today, but at the International Olympic distance, 20K, 50K, that's longer than a marathon. I mean, it is absolutely incredible what these athletes are able to do for such a sustained period of time.
Well, and we were just talking a little bit off air about it. Like, you have Olympic gold medalists, you have world championships in this event. So I mean, this is a sport that is taken seriously at the highest of levels. And so I think when high school athletes see if this is something I could do for a profession later down the road, why not take advantage of the opportunity and start in high school and then continue to build my way up. So I think anything you can do to grow the sport and give opportunities out for people, I am all for it.
Well, and I'll tell you from my own experience, so I ran at Azusa Pacific back when it was still NAIA, and if you look at the list, especially in the U.S., it hasn't historically been a very strong event at the international level for the U.S., but that being said, we have sent multiple people to international championships and Olympics, and if you draw the roots back, many, if not most of them, come from NAIA programs, and that's because that's an event that is still contested at the NAIA level. So I know in my own college career, there were some opportunities for distance runners who maybe hadn't qualified in other events, and it turns out that they were able to do so in the Racewalk because that was just one of their qualities that they could take to that quickly, and they were able to go to nationals. So if you're a young athlete looking at some different events, NAIA is a great option because this is an event that's contested at the national level.
And the events, of the recent House versus NCAA settlement, a lot of athletes are kind of reflecting on the fact, well, if Division I is not going to have any scholarship opportunities or opportunities for me to be a part of their program, then that opens the door for programs like Division IIs, Division IIIs, and NAIAs, take advantage and try to bring those kids in.
Well, this is Ian Britt with the early lead here. I'm a little surprised not to see Bryce Upton up there as well. It's coming up on halfway here. Ian Britt. And keep in mind, of course, it doesn't mean you can't contest other events during your high school career as well. You can dip your toe in the water in a lot of different disciplines, and the Racewalk certainly can be among those. Ian Britt coming through 3:16. 1:35 on his first lap, 1:41 on his second. A few seconds back is Oliver Sikora.
Meet record in this event, 6:55.38. And through that first half of this race, already underneath that pace. And this guy's no stranger to racing at New Balance Nationals at all. I mean, he won the indoor title in the mile back in Boston. Ran 6:57. So right here on this penultimate lap, just trying to maintain that pace, and as long as he probably about 30-40 meters separate him and the next guy. As long as nothing really changes, I think he's really got this one.
And as you said, keep an eye on that time. I mean, we were talking about sub 8-minute miles, which is just impressive enough in its own right, but the meet record sub 7 minutes last year was won by Rowan McDonald in a time of 7:04:14. So Britt trying to make his own presence felt. Rowan McDonald actually is the one with a meet record as well. So he took the last couple of titles, has moved on in his career. But Ian Britt coming through here, dominating this field. The boys championship 1 mile race walk, and you watch that form. The challenge here, it's hard enough to maintain that form in the early going, stay within the rules, but just like in any other discipline, any other distance, fatigue starts to set in. So you see just a tick over 5 minutes there, 5:02 with 1 lap remaining. And if he stays on the same pace with those 1 minute 45-second laps, he will be well under that meet record pace. And making quick work of this one is Ian Britt.
So anything under 100 seconds, even 110 seconds would be fine. I mean, he doesn't have to do anything crazy here. He just has to maintain the speed that he's been having the entire time.
He's able to duplicate those previous laps. He will be well on his way to a new meet record here. And boy, it just seems like they are piling up, and we see year after year these records getting broken. Even this year, us talking about, I said it before, I think the oldest meet record I've seen is from 2022, and so most of these from 23 or 24. These kids just getting faster and faster. So impressive. But keep an eye on that clock here, as Ian Britt's going to pass the top of the curve and try to bring it home. Keeping that form. No red cards, no warnings. He will be well on his way to a meet record. MERW, Maine Race Walking, just as Rowan McDonald was the last couple of years. So Ian Britt says, let's do one better. You hear the fans there bringing him home. 6:55, that meet record. But Ian Britt out of Topsham, Maine, is going to be right on pace there. And he goes sub 6:50 as well. He will do all that and more. Huge meet record here for Ian Britt, 6:46:15. He takes down the record from another Maine race walker, set just 2 years ago. Rowan McDonald won the last couple of titles, set that meet record, but now it belongs to Ian Britt, 6:46:15.
I've already mentioned it, Trevor. The national record, or not national records, the meet records, the longest one 3 years ago, 2022. We expect, it seems like every single year there's going to be a meet record in something. And the amount of meet records that we've had here so far for the first 2 days, this should come to no surprise that we finish off the penultimate, or kick off the penultimate day, I should say, with another one.
Well, it should go without saying, fastest time in the nation this year. Only young man under 7 minutes, in fact. And even in the 1600, that's faster than the fastest 1600. He took down the previous list topper, Bryce Upton, who had gone 7:18. But Ian Britt, just a junior, he will likely try to come back and pick up another national title next year. But for today, he gets the job done and leads Oliver Sikora, 7:09:63 for him. Cameron Kuhn comes in third, 7:31:96. But what a way to start the day off. Meet record here at a big one in this boys championship race walk. So as we see our final finishers there,